Hi guys, Mike Sperduti here. And today I wanted to address probably the most frustrating of all situations for salespeople, sales managers, and owners. And that is when you leave a sales meeting and you get the commitment from the buyer that they are going to, in the future, use your product. On their next order, they're going to use your new product or service. And you walk out of that meeting and you are just on fire. There's that feeling of, we did it. We landed that account. We hit our objective. And everybody's high-fiving. Maybe you go out and you celebrate. You grab some lunch or some cocktails. And then, you go home, and the next day you look for the order and it's not there. And the next week you look for the order and it's not there. Then a month goes by, then a quarter goes by. And then you try to get that person back on the phone or get another meeting with them, and for whatever reason, they disappeared. And so the salesperson, they were counting on the commission. The sales manager was counting on the growth. The owner was also excited about this new business, and everybody's let down. Well, what happened? Everything looked so good. Everything was right, and then it never happened. So what I did, this happened to me as a rep, it happened to me as a sales manager, as an owner, and I had to put in a process, a technique that would make this problem go away. So the technique that I developed was called the pindown, and it's the last step of my 7-step process. And you use this pindown in any situation where somebody commits to you that yes, indeed, on their next order or their next patient, they will place the business with you, but they don't have a need for it at that very moment. So instead of just walking away and hoping that the order comes in, I want you to use this type of language pattern. Now, you're going to have to change it to your business, but you're going to say something like this. So the scenario is you go to close and you say, well, it makes sense that you use us on your next patient. And they say, yes, we will. Okay, great. Do you have a patient we can work on right now? They say, no, we don't have any patients right now. You'll say something like, oh, I understand. So since you do want to use this because you recognize the fact that we can get better patient outcomes for your oxygen patients, what I want to do is make sure that we have the setup process nailed down right from the beginning. So based on your profile, you see about 10 oxygen patients per week, which is 2 per day. So since you don't have any oxygen patients today, most likely you'll have at least 1 or 2 tomorrow. So why don't we set up a call for around 11 o'clock your time, or would 1 o'clock be better, where we can go through the enrollment process? And that's it, and you shut up. Now, why is this so effective? 2 reasons. Number one, the profile is very important, right? So one of the things you need to do in your discovery on the front end is ask them how many patients could utilize a service like yours. So once you identify that early in the sales process, you then bring it into this pin down because they told you that information. So by utilizing the information that they told you, you now pin them down to understand where they are and when they can refer to you. That's number one. So it's using the profile. It's very powerful. Number 2 is then asking for a time specifically that they will give you the business. So one of 2 things is going to happen. Either A, they're going to go forward with you, or B, you're going to smoke out the fact that they weren't telling the truth. Some people just can't say no to people face to face. Some people in certain parts of the country, they don't feel it's polite, so they act nice, but they have no intention. Whatever the case may be, what this will do is end the frustration, because what will happen is when you ask for that time to take their first order, it'll pop up the objection, and they'll give you really how they feel, which is awesome feedback, because now, again, a skilled salesperson will know how to dismantle an objection. And I'll be teaching those techniques to you throughout these little educational videos, so we'll get there. But the bottom line is this. If they don't have an order for you right there and then, when they've given you verbal commitment, then it's your obligation to pin them down. I hope that helps. We'll talk to you all soon.